Hello friends, welcome to Red Hat Linux Administration and Advanced Level of Troubleshooting. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about variables. What is variables? How to define variables? What are system variables? What are user-defined variables? What are environmental variables? So we are going to discuss variables in this lecture. So bash variables, basically they are used to a single shell by default, and to define any variable we have a command variable is equal to any value. Your variable could be anything, like any name, like a is equal to 10. So here a is your variable whose value is 10. In the next line, if you have specified a is equal to 10, 20, then your variable has been changed from number 10 to number 20. So this is your bash variables. What is environmental variable? Environmental variables are inherited by child shells, and that we can set with the using command export variable is equal to 10. So what is the difference between your bash variable and environmental variable? Basically, bash variable that you will define, that would be only for your single cell. Okay, suppose I have logged into my Linux server using putty. Okay, and I have set one variable a is equal to 10, and on the same shell I have executed some program. So what will happen if we executed any further program? Another shell is initiated from that shell. So the value of a that we have defined is equal to 10. That will not go with the child shells. Okay, so this is the basic difference. If you will define any variable as an environmental variable, so whatever the shells that will be initiated from that your primary shell, that value will be inherited with your child shells. Let me try to explain with an example. Let me log in to my server. Suppose a is equal to 10. This is my one value. A is my variable and I have given its value 10. How I can read this value? There is a command echo, and dollar is to read the variable. Now you can see a is equal to 10, right? Suppose I have defined another variable b is equal to 20, and if I am using this echo capital B, then output would be coming 20. Okay, so this way we can understand how to define a variable and how we can read the variables. These are your user defined variables, right? But this is your simple variables. Suppose I am going to initiate a shell, I am going to initiate a program, I am going to create a program. My simple script I am going to create. Okay, this we will understand in the next lectures what are those things. Suppose I have given b is equal to 10, and simple I am using c is equal to this expression $a plus I am doing the sum of two variables. Okay, so this way we can do the sum of two numbers. Okay, c is equal to this one, and to read the output I would be using echo $c. So here you can see c is equal to whatever the value in variable a plus whatever the value in variable b. But here in this simple shell scripting I haven't defined what is the value of a. Okay, so let me come out from this. Let me save this script. I have saved this script. Let me get this. Why I am doing this way? So that you can understand what is the basic difference between a bash variable and an environmental variable. Now you can understand this. In this shell scripting I haven't defined what is the value of a. So here I have defined a is equal to 10. Okay, now when I am going to initiate any program from this shell, this is my current shell, let me make it executable. Okay, I have make it executable. So the value of a that is defined to this shell. Okay, and when I am going to initiate a program from here, this is my program. Okay, so what will happen? A new child shell will be inherited from this shell. So the value of a will not be, with this child shells. It will not inherited the value of a with the child shells. So now you can see you are getting an absurd value. Okay, if you are going to cat this program, you can see b is equal to 10, and if I am going to sum a and b, a is equal to 10, it should be 20, the output should be 20, but it didn't take the value of a, because this value of a, this is a simple variable that is defined only for this shell. This is not an environmental variable. If I want to make it environmental variable, then I have to use a command export a is equal to 10. Now this has become an environmental variable. Now any program, anything that would be inherited from this shell, that would be your child shell, they will take this value a is equal to 10. Now I am again going to fire this command. Now you will see the output is coming 20. Okay, so this is the basic difference between your shell variable and your environmental variable. So here in bash shell, it didn't take your variables, that is your a is 10 number, that is not inherited with your child shells. Whatever the program we have fired from this shell, it will not take the value of a. Okay, so to make it inherited, you have to make that variable as an environmental variable. So from this shell, any shell scripting, any program is initiated, the value of a that we have defined at the shell, primary shell, or the value of a will be going to all of your child shells. So this is the basic difference between your bash shell and variable shell. So this is very easy to define. Okay, and suppose I am doing this, a is equal to b. Now I am the same shell, so it will work. If I am going to sum this, c is equal to this expression $a plus $b. Okay, if I am going to echo this, you can get the value because this is the same shell. Okay, that's why the output you got, you didn't require these two variables a and b should be your environmental variable. Okay, because we are running the commands on the same shell. But if you are going to run any commands, any program should be initiated from there, any shell scripting. If you are initiating a shell scripting, any program from here, what happened? A new shell has been generated from that shell, a new bash shell has generated. So if you want the variables that you have defined at your primary shell, if you want those variables should go with your all the child shells, then you have to make those variables as an environmental variable. And to make it environmental variable, you have to use the command export a is equal to 10. So whatever the shells, whatever the programs that would be initiated from this shell, they will keep the value of a as a 10. So you don't need to specify a as a 10 in other shell or programs. So guys, that's all for this session. Hope you have basic understanding of variables. If you have time, you can join with me in the next sessions. We will discuss more on that. Thanks for watching.